But now, what is the metabolites? Again, remember, we did these tests. We did the arugula test and Muncher juice only. We did control, Muncher juice only, Muncher juice, my biology or my product, and my product. And we compared all four of these together. Well, we showed a 50% increase in wet plant biomass with just Muncher juice. That's fucking huge, right? Huge.
Oh, yeah. Fucking right. That's huge.
Right? And it was only fertilized once. Like, could you imagine if I'd fertilized it for every week for the 8 weeks that it went in trial? And it was a horrible winter last year. We had no sun, cold, tons of rain. I don't know how those plants even fucking survived. Like the control plants were pretty fucking ugly.
Yeah.
So everything was pretty ugly. All right. But still way better than the control. Mm-hmm. And then we had Billy's work where he, basically showed us that this extremely finicky cultivar threw fucking sevens very quickly after being exposed to Muncher juice.
Yeah, Margie's.
Right. So we know we have plant hormone, plant growth promoters, plant growth regulators. Those are three fucking killer things. I mean, look at all the products on the market saying, "Oh, we do this, we do that." Right? If you could do that for what we're taking a waste stream and convert it into a product that is very expensive that does that, holy shit. Well, how do you know what metabolites you're creating? What secondary, tertiary, and beyond metabolites you're creating that create these proteins folding to create these different plant reactions? I mean, you start going down proteins and amino acids and all of the interactions and reactions that occur, it gets fucking complicated. So the only way to unfold, like, all right, what does this atom do to this protein to make it fold in that direction instead of this direction? Mm-hmm. Or makes all of them fold in different directions simultaneously, right? That is the only place you can get that information is going through RNA and DNA, because now you can directly correlate this message that is given to this bacteria or protozoa and instructions on how to do certain actions or interactions or reactions.
Right.
And that's all of those are important to understand. It's not just one thing. It's multiple different ways to look at it. So I brought in Craig. I said, Craig, I know you're very familiar and comfortable in the bioinformatics world. I'm going to get you a stipend, and I want to create a study group, a community that we start to really unwind a lot of this stuff. And and again, like as a general contractor, I don't need to know everything about someone's job, but I have to know enough, especially at this level, to be capable to walk in and say, you're fucking up or you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I'm the general contractor. I'm in charge. If I hire a subcontractor who's an idiot and is fucking everybody else's work up because they're too lazy to take the time to think, well, I can't put it here. The HVAC guy needs this, or the plumber needs that bay because it's right next to the kitchen sink. I can't put all my shit in here. Mm-hmm. That's the GC's job, is to protect against these interactions that cause nightmares in construction. And if you've been in the construction industry, there are a fuck ton of nightmares because the GC wasn't there doing his job.
Yeah.
So I'm the GC. I'm trying to, head up the consulting wing of Ecosphere Sciences and taking them to the next level to create valuation. By that, I mean, what is the Muncher unit worth? Well, nobody knows because we don't have enough data to say what it can or cannot do. We know it gets rid of food waste, right? So it has value in the fact that it can take this food waste and turn it into something disposable or reusable in X amount of time. So that there's some value there. But once you start getting into, okay, the output has value, that's a whole nother ballgame. And that's what they've hired me or that's why they pay me is to understand the value of the output, because we already know the front side. We know what it's worth based on what it can do. But what if there was this whole value added thing that's a whole nother ball game. That increases increases the value of what they've created and what they've built. And that's good for them. I mean, we want them to be successful. The more successful they are, the more these machines will get out, and the better humanity will be as a whole because of what they've created.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So bring Craig in and go down the fucking rabbit hole, right out of the gate. He's talking, a language that, well, it hasn't really been invented yet. It's being built as it's being flown.
He's creating it. Okay.
Dude, all these different people are creating this language because they're all coming from different disciplines. Because if you look at, DNA, 5 years ago, nobody could afford it, right? I mean, you could send it in for these, family DNA stuff, but that's a business built on a machine that creates an algorithm, blah, 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 right? But it's not normal language. You're dealing with a lot of different disciplines that understand, like, if you take the DNA and you plug it into a machine learning algorithm, it can tell you that the prospects of this bacteria performing nitrogen cycling in situ is 50%, 30%, 100%, right? So now all of a sudden you have a way to correlate the DNA, what you've discovered, with what the potential could be of any said given question.
Right.
Will it restore soil? Will it bind up heavy metals? Will it provide nutrient cycling? Will it be a phosphate solubilizer? Will it be a nitrogen fixer? Blah, 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 blah. So he brings in a couple of his friends and associates, and we start to create a team, which he nicknamed M5. So it's macro, micro, I'm missing something. Macro, micro, microbe, microscopy, not mRNA, and then metabolite. Or machine learning, metabolite, machine learning. All right, so those are 5 M's. And it was brilliant because it basically says we've done the first 3 steps, right? We've done the macro, the micro, and the microbiology, but we haven't done metabolics, which is the genomics, and then the machine learning, which is the ability to have what's called human read data. Now that's a whole new word, right?